recording. All right, welcome back, everyone. As you know, I'm your friendly dungeon master from the Hard. We just had a lovely 15-minute intermission, so we're all fresh to go. So let's take it back where may I just say we need to discuss a few things. So may I go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with all of your friends and family. And just like the tumor, we know exactly who you are. And if you don't share it, your mom's a hoe.
Mom's a hoe.
I feel like that's a compliment in 2020. If you don't do it, your mom's a hoe.
That means she doesn't know how to social distance.
Your mom's a Karen.
I'm just gonna drink my Mike's Hard, thank you.
That's actually the D&D villain, Karen.
Speaking of villains, Senguine, I heard you and Peter debating on whether you'd be a villain or not.
You don't know what you're talking about.
May I take it away?
I mean, there is an assistant who's a spy. Who's to say you're not an assistant?
Maybe.
So May-Ighe will look around the room and go, so there's a few things that we should probably talk about. Do we feel that here is the safest place to do it? So to start off, my name is May-Ighe. I had a mother and father. The name of Wash May Build High, and I can build high. And and I had a sister named Priscilla.
Yeah, my Discord.
When I was a teenager, my home was burglarized in the middle of the night, and they were killed. I've been on my own for a long time. Senguine and I were part of my first adventuring group. After years of grieving the loss of my family and having to grow up early and to be mature at an early age. We met Valhoon, who was a ranger, an elven ranger, and a tiefling by the name of Amethyst. Then Amethyst recruited us to go with her to go see a gentleman by the name of Vidpick. Bless you.
Thanks. Sorry, I have cheesy jalapeno popcorn.
It's all good, Iris. I'm not into the spicy stuff as well. And we were put in a situation after meeting this Vidpick where we made a deal. The deal was to bring this little human girl that's out in the farms, whom Vidpick had already had a contract with, and to bring her back to the house. We all jumped on ship, mainly out of force because of this Amethyst person who had dragged us into this. And for some reason, we were picked. I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you what it was and how they heard of us. But it was us that were picked. And so we went out to go find this individual. And when we got there, we came to discover, after bringing this little girl by the name of Hazel into our carriage that was provided by VidPick, and once we brought her in, Amethyst, this tiefling person, she had noticed that there were runes that were on her, and discovered that the tiefling horns were stitched into her skull, hand stitched. This girl couldn't have been no more than 10. We think about 8, 9 years old. And I think that's when we all started to realize that this VidPick person that we had dealt with is not a good person. He's a dangerous person. And we had already had our suspicions that he was doing something with the... Wasn't it with the tiefling Senguine? It was something he was doing with the tieflings. We just couldn't figure out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So we traveled for a little bit, hoping to stall until we felt prepared to confront VidPick. And VidPick had mentioned that we had time if we wanted to before bringing her back to the mansion. We were on our journeys, one of our various journeys, where we all protected each other and trusted each other for the most part unconditionally. We screamed at each other, yelled at each other, and by at each other, pretty much me, Senguine, and Valhoon against Amethyst. She had a very abrasive personality that we were having difficulty trying to work as a team together. On one of our adventures, we were taking this wagon down the road. We were ambushed by these slave traders. They ended up taking Senguine and Hazel. That part never really came clear to me. I don't know how. But I just knew 1 minute the two of you were there, and the next minute you guys were gone. And we started to track. We came across this auction house. This big plot of land with cages of different individuals and different sizes and different genders, different ages, and a bunch of mercenary groups that were looking to buy these things, these individuals as slaves. Our plan was to try and infiltrate in the night and hopefully rescue this little girl through no fault of her own, was thrown into this situation. And I may or may not have taken the initiative without informing the group, in which I do apologize for that, Senguine. I take responsibility for that. But I ended up in the middle of the night being able to hide using the shadows to the best of my ability, I was able to get Hazel out without any commotion. And I felt this obligation. She reminded me of my sister, because she was about that age when she was killed. And so I took her away. I figured it would be easier for me in the dead of night than with the rest of you. And I took her back to my hometown. I gave her a job. I know, just so that nobody is doing the thing, I will not tell you what the job is. But I took her to a church. I had her horns removed from the clerics, in which I did another job for the church in a reconstruction of the Church of Palor. And I had been hiding out since, until I came across Core and Leander and a couple of others, until eventually I met Iris. And Tiger. I'm scared for her safety. I didn't expect to be leaving Tolis anytime soon. We were doing a job in the city, and we ended up going through a portal to leave the mansion, and we ended up here in nearby in Greenest. Senguine knows the severity of it, but being around me, you guys are in great peril. This is not what I expected. This is not how I thought this would go down. And I am so sorry. And I'm sorry that you guys got dragged into it.
Iris is gonna respond at this point. She's just gonna say, you know that Typhon and I came from a separate group. We are investigating our own things, so I am no stranger to danger and peril. It's something Typhon and I have been dealing with our entire lives. Excuse me. So it's nothing new on my end. If Typhon were here, I'm sure he would tell you how I literally will go into anything head first. Whether it be, an adventure or friendship or any kind of relationship in that matter. He would say that, I take things and I go with them and I go 100%. There's nothing I leave out when it comes to that kind of stuff. So danger doesn't scare me anymore. Yes, I still get scared, but of course, the thrill of an adventure and the possibility of, meeting new people as I've met you folks heavily outweighs the threat of danger at this point. And while I've lost my partner, I'm still here. I'm still fighting on behalf of the both of us. But something similar sounding to your story did actually happen to Typhon and I many years ago. We were tasked to find a child who was a dragonborn, or we were tasked to find something. Turned out to be a child that was dragonborn, and for reasons, it's the reason why Typhon and I ended up going separate ways for a while, only to have recently reunited right before we met May-Ighe, Cor, and Leander. Sounds familiar. Your story does sound familiar to me. But so I understand what you're going through.
And when you say you drug us along with you, you can't say that with me. I've been there from the start. And you know that, and you've saved my life more times than I can count. You owe me nothing, old friend. If anything, it's me paying you back.
And the Lord has sent me on this journey, and I'm in it for the long haul, and you're my friend, and I'll always be there for you, May-Ighe, so don't ever say that you're dragging us into anything, because we're here.
I thank you all so much. I will have each and every one of your backs, no matter what.
When Cor and Iris are eating the same popcorn.
The penguin from Cor's pocket will pop out, hop up on the bed, and look at May-Ighe and just.
And this is the penguin doing that?
Yeah.
And thank you, I look to the penguin for all that you've done.
And then it smiles, turns to Cor, pulls out a sign, quack, and it runs off.
She's gonna chuck a pen at him.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, penguin, I didn't get your name.
Quack, 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 quack.
Okay, well, Mr. Quack, if you could tell Eugene that we wouldn't be here without him, if you have that connection with him. We really appreciate everything that Eugene has done to keep us alive and to protect us. That doesn't go unnoticed.
Wow.
I don't exactly know what happened. I know that what you guys have told me happened in my head. So is there anything that I sort of need to explain? I don't know what you guys went through, but if you guys saw anything, and if you have questions, anything like that.
Can't hear me?
I can hear everybody else but you.
I don't know why.
All I see is. It's also weird because
I think you answered most of my questions that I had that
Well, see, I don't know how to fix it.
I was pondering on.
Yeah.
Because it shows that sound is coming out.
Well, if you guys do have questions,
Sounds good.
I'll be honest with you guys, because I trust you and you put your lives out there for me, and I'm gonna return it,
Travis looks like he's bald.
and I'm gonna return it.
Audio mixer.
That's what friends do.
Oh, the VR.
And when I know we haven't spoken,
Well, charge it.
but
It is charged.
I think about you a lot.
And you.
Oh,
So,
you just all towels. I put my costume in.
I'm glad to be by your side again.
Really, it's a long costume.
Me too. We got to keep this thing rolling. We had a good thing going. We got to, just keep running.
Yeah,
you know that I don't like running particularly,
Yeah.
but
Well, let me know if you can.
You
hear
understand
it
what I'm saying.
now.
I do. Amethyst really fucked it up for us.
yeah, she really threw off the group dynamic for us, and wasn't a great situation. But that may be resolved later.
It won't. Apparently,
There's some grumblings.
And kicked her out the window, right?
Yeah, I turned her into a llama just in case.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, so do you frequently transform into a cat?
Not frequently, only when I drink random potions.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All purple cat? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I was just informed.
My voice gets really high.
Fuck. I came back at the weirdest time. Sorry, I was just informed that anyone who sees the Twitch stream hears you guys but can't hear me.
Nice.
And
That's weird.
I don't know why. Like I'm looking at the Twitch studio and everything, and I'm like, I don't know what to change because I see the mic thing is working. It's picking up the noise.
Pedro is talking. Please make sure to listen.
Okay, anyways.
Pedro is weird.
So I had to.
And I still have more to roleplay if
go for it. No, it's all you. I just
um
want to mute myself.
Hey, do you guys mind if I talk to Iris alone for a sec?
Oh, have at it, my friend. Turn around, I nudge Core a little bit. I'm out the room.
I can't even need me.
We're gonna walk out. Are you gonna walk out?
Yeah. Leander will walk out too.
Iris is going to turn her eye ring off immediately.
Oh shit, I should turn mine off too, and I turned mine off.
Yours is broken.
We gave him a new one. You gave us a bag of eye rings.
Oh, I didn't know you guys gave him it already.
Yeah, we gave him a new one.
I figured they put it on when I was unconscious.
Yes.
Well, let's say you have it, but you haven't put it on yet. So.
Okay, great.
Fair. I think Iris is good. Cora's gonna kind of listen at the door and hear every other word. Yeah.
The penguin will too.
The penguin will too. Oh my god. The penguin knows too much.
How are you doing?
I'm not doing great, but I have to keep it together for our group. Since you've been out, I've been through a lot. I had to go to a meeting as the leader of my former group, since Typhon passed away, since I was second in command. So I've had to take on new responsibilities I never thought I would have had to do in the first place. So I've been going through a lot. I haven't taken it terribly well, but, I'm putting on the best face I can. So.
I know that's not easy, given what you've what you've been through.
Yeah, no, it's not easy.
So, I was sort of wondering, what, wh- what exactly are we doing?
That's a great question. In all honesty, I don't know. I'm very conflicted as of right now, and am very kind of on edge. I know what we shared, and I know it was genuine, and I know, everything that happened, it happened. I'm not going to deny it. But, after losing someone who was so close to me, and meant a lot to me, it's kind of hard. So I don't know exactly how I feel about anything right now. I'm more guarded. I'm more on edge. I'm kind of, at this point, assessing everything and overthinking and whatnot. So, to be honest, I don't know what's going on with us right now. So, I mean, just give me time to figure out what's happening and let me process, everything that's happened. It's going to take me a while to come to terms with Typhon and his death.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm sorry. Was me sort of like touching your back or your side? Was that inappropriate? If it was, I won't do it. I apologize.
no, it was actually, comforting. Like, I knew you were there for me in that moment. So, it's okay if you do that. I'm not gonna, recoil or anything like that. Because I know you're coming from a place of, truth and caring and whatnot. So I'm not ever gonna think that it's, hostile or anything like that. I'm just dealing with my own stuff right now, and to know that, you are there for me, you're supporting me and whatnot, is a very comforting thing for me right now.
May-Ighe chuckles just a tiny bit and goes, funny thing is I just, even with the removal of this tumor, I find myself still being more concerned about you.
Iris is gonna chuckle at that as well and be like, you were never the person to think of yourself. I've only known you for, a couple months, but you were never the person to think of yourself. So, find that semi-amusing.
But take the time that you need. I know that what I feel it's genuine and it's pure. But if you need time to process and do whatever it is that you need to do it. I'll still be here. I'll still I'm still going to be here to support you if you need it. I don't want you to feel rushed. I just take your time, process all of the events that have happened, and we can just go from there. I know I care about you. But I think that you need a little time. As you've mentioned, you just need a process. And I'm not the one that's gonna step in the way of that.
Thank you. I do appreciate, your empathy and your compassion in this. It does mean a lot to me.
So does anyone know how to work this fucking wheelchair?
Iris is just gonna like give out a really big laugh at that point. She's like, of course you would break the awkward tension with a joke. And she's gonna go behind the wheelchair and be like, okay, well, there are wheels on this.
Oh, good. So, and it's in a chair format, which is great.
Yeah. Which is great. I mean, you're already sitting. What a concept. So let me see if I can push this. And she'll push it directly into like a piece of furniture, like lightly.
Blood.
So May-Ighe will gently thud against a piece of furniture.
How?
So from the outside, whoever's listening can hear thud, 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 thud.
Iris is just laughing her ass off. I think I found out how it works.
Oh, good. After all this time.
Here, thud. Cora's gonna think something else and look at Senguine and go, brown chicken, brown cow.
It's like, no, over here. If we could do it like this, I think it will.
We'll walk away at that point.
Sanguine's just gone at this point.
Senguine is currently making tacos.
Ooh, tacos.
I guess he didn't want to talk about it.
Okay. So we'll say after a little bit of thudding, May-Ighe, the door will open and you will kind of see like Cor, Leander, the penguin, and Senguine like 25 feet away from the door, all with these like really either embarrassed, confused, or awkward looks on their face as they see you guys come out.
So, are we, where are we staying?
That's a good question.
Is there an inn nearby or something?
We were just at an inn, but I don't think we should go there at that particular inn.
What, did they have low ratings on their Yelp?
I think Iris should explain that one.
More like... So Senguine and I kind of had a pissing contest. He won and got escorted out by 4 tiefling females.
Really? He won?
You're as shocked as I am.
Yeah, you're much more charismatic. I mean, I know Senguine is very charismatic, but you're a much more dominable personality.
Thank you. Make sure to tell Senguine this when we meet up with him again.
Yeah,
But-
I'll bring it up.
Okay, good. But so he got taken away by 4 tiefling females, and Corey, Leander, and I talked for a bit about what we're gonna do, and then I was like, maybe we should break up whatever Sanguine's going through right now. So we ended up going upstairs, and Senguine found himself in a kind of BDSM torture dungeon, but not the fun kind.
Oh.
So,
wait, there are other kinds?
Yeah, more like the actual torture dungeon kind.
Oh.
Yeah. So, the 4 tiefling females either propositioned me that the 6 of us could have some fun, or the 5 of us, excluding Senguine, could have some fun. To which I told them, hey, meet me in the next room over. And they all left, and then I untied and ungagged Senguine and saved his fucking ass. Because he is, of course, a dragonborn. And tieflings just got attacked by a dragonborn and the cult of the dragons, so they don't really trust him. So I saved his fucking ass instead.
Oh, this is the Senguine. Do you know?
I'm sorry, I'm in the room again.
He came out.
Well, you were sort of outside.
We opened the door. We kind of were with everyone again.
You were 25 feet away.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I was getting my shrimp tacos.
No, you're good.
Oh, shrimp tacos. You fancy boy.
I know.
You know what halflings would call that? Regular
tacos?
size tacos.
So dumb.
I
Okay. So what were we thinking?
So perhaps we should fill Senguine in on what we're doing.
We're thinking about trying to find an inn, but we were filling him in on why we shouldn't go back to the inn that we were currently at when that whole mess happened with you.
Yes, I would also prefer us not to go there. To be completely honest, that wasn't fun for me, and I'm a little terrified of what happened. I might have a little bit of PTSD from it, but we'll make it work if we need to.
Okay, so perhaps
I already have the whip. So if I need to put him in his place, I'm a tiefling and I have a whip now.
Jesus.
Oh God. Oh, Peter, by any chance, did I ever see metal with that whip from that I stole from the drow priestess?
You did. It actually looks different. It looks like it's been purified.
Yeah, perhaps we should look somewhere else. And then I whisper this to Iris and go, in the event that you need a purified whip, I happen to know a certain metal that can provide it.
Iris rolls your back. Why would I need a purified whip?
Because that was the one that I stole from a very powerful drow priestess of the Underdark. That is worth at least 1,000 gold pieces.
I would be like, oh, okay. I might sell it for the money, but
Meaning if it's worth a lot, that means it's probably powerful.
You're not wrong. A girl can appreciate a powerful whip.
Hey. Wait, what?
The penguin's just gonna hop back in his home.
The penguin's exactly like Eugene, uncomfortable in certain situations.
Well, he doesn't even knock anymore. He just pulls the little bag down and just hops in.
So perhaps we should find another place to stay. If someone with able-bodied legs would be able to lead the charge, that would be great.
Just an
Preferably
FYI,
not core.
you guys literally can just turn around, and that house is where you're staying at.
The house we're in?
No, the house that May-Ighe was in, that's the house you guys have.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it's ours.
No one else is using it.
This was the shortest trip ever. What a success.
Oh, man, I'm just going to turn you around and dump you out on the bed again.
Close the
Not
door.
before.
It's fine. I can stay here. Does anyone have bacon?
Bacon?
Yeah. I feel hungry, as if I haven't eaten.
So
I mean,
as you say
really,
that, you guys hear just like a thud, 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 thud. And out comes from around the house is your lovely full orc friend with a big pot of food. And he sees May and goes, "Oh, what up, Trick Stick?"
Oh, dear God, it is you. How are you doing?
Much better now. 8.
You're looking good. You're looking real good.
Oh, thanks.
You look even better with all of that food that is in your arms.
Oh, yeah. This is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Violet made it, and she said if you don't eat all of it, she's going to, and I quote, pick you up to the heavens and then drop you to hell.
I can make it work. I can make it work.
Dope. Well, where you want this?
Set it right here next to me on the bed.
Alright. So he literally puts it on the bed next to you, and the bed kind of just.
I mean, because I don't know where else to put it.
Well. Eat up, rest. Got some adventurers with you, and do what you need to do.
All right, well, till next time.
Well, till tomorrow.
Yeah, which is next time, right?
Well, you usually say next time, like the next time I'll see you, like in a year or so.
Well, the next time I see you will be tomorrow.
Fucking hate smart people. He walks away.
How much food is it?
About 25 pounds of food.
I realized I said that a little too loud, and there's a 2-year-old in the house.
But it goes like, if you look in the pot, it looks like there's like bacon, and then like a sheet under it so you can lift up the bacon. Bread. Hamburgers. Like it just layers and layers on a different food.
Oh my god.
Hey, if you guys want some breakfast, there's plenty here for all of us.
Might as well.
Let's see.
Alright. So as you guys eat, the food is fucking delicious. It seems like you guys just constantly eat. It rejuveniles. It's a it's a form of like healthy healing food, as in kind of like bulks up your bones if you have like bone aches. Kind of cleanses your systems. Rejuveniles your magic. Get you right up and perky. It has the same effect on May-Ighe, but May-Ighe will still need to take the 2 weeks to rest. We'll say you guys just after the food and eating, you all take a quick rest. talk a little bit more about some good times, some stories, take May-Ighe around Greenest. And as you guys take May-Ighe around Greenest, you can see that, tieflings are at work. The town folks are at work. They haven't stopped working since they got attacked. So they are trying to pump this defense out in as quickest time as ever. Trying to either build new roads or just take down old houses, bring up new ones. There hasn't been any merchants from the road coming in. What would happen, as you guys would notice, that a group of tieflings will go to their ship, or would leave. Iris would know that they're going to their ship, and they will constantly bring back supplies in like a day or so. So that's the only supply run they have of whether it's nails, woodwork, metal, weapons, armor, whatever they have. They would tear down as much trees locally without going too far away from Greenest, as much as they need to build the little fortification around their town. So all the trees on the outskirts of town are probably gone by now. Or at the end of it, they won't be there. The river will still be there as well. So a lot of fishing and everything. Some people fight amongst themselves because the food is being rationed. Yeah.
What about the cultists that we found?
The cultists that you guys found are now being interrogated and held inside the keep's cell. So you guys turned them in to the mayor for further questioning because your main priority was May-Ighe. So you wanted to not spend too much time away from him.
Which ones did we find?
We'll say you found all but the tiefling one.
Damn it.
At any point was I informed about any of this?
That would be up to the group.
Yes.
Yes.
May-Ighe will keep an eye out,
Okay.
since that is the only thing he can do.
All right. So we'll say that's how you guys spent your day. Helping May-Ighe rejuvenate. Have him try walking a little bit. Not really get weapons or armor, just to make sure like he can kind of move his body slowly. Practice taking him around Greenest and everything. So we'll go ahead and jump to the next day, unless anyone wanted to do anything particular on this day.
No.
The only thing I'm gonna do is just ask somebody to bring me my backpack. I don't remember where it is.
It's in the house.
Okay. May-Ighe will write stuff, but that's it.
Okay.
Or can go look for it.
That's okay. We won't have Cora look for it because I don't have another 2 hours to spend on a Cora adventure. All right, so we'll skip to the next day. You guys will have breakfast bright and early, so we'll say the meeting will start at 10, which gives you guys enough time to prepare. Iris knows where to go because it's being held in a keep. So as you guys get there, May-Ighe is still in the chair. That's how May-Ighe is going to need to travel for at least a week and a half, as his muscles aren't strong enough to keep him standing for long. So that's his main transportation. And as you guys arrive, so Senguine will go with you guys. As the keep gates open, you notice a round table with 7 chairs there. And I luckily have my notes.
A fucking meeting. I hate it.
So I'm trying not to keep up too many tabs on my computer because I don't want it to freeze. So at this meeting, not in any particular order of where they're seating, you have the mayor of Greenus, which is, where is he? Tarbar Nighthill. He will be sitting at one of the chairs. You also have Violet and her group. Violet is sitting in a chair. Metal and Trogdor are behind her. You also have From, who is a dwarf you guys met. He is sitting in one chair as well. You also have a new person you guys haven't seen before. Well, everyone but Iris. Iris is the same people. But for everyone else, you have a tiefling who is the size of probably a mountain. So he's about as tall and buff as Senguine. The height of Adkara. And looks like a barbarian. He is sitting at the table. He's a tiefling. He is there as well. Off to the side and kind of the walls are guards, merchants, and other nobles who have taken refugees here. And at the very, I guess the head of the round table, or where it would be directly across from you guys, is a little bell. So for you guys, who is sitting in the chair? There's only one other chair left. Irish will take it. The rest of you guys will stand behind her. So each.
I just asked if I can just sit somewhere behind Iris just so I can see. Otherwise, I will not be able to see with all of the standing people in front of me.
Yeah, Metal has a little like ramp for you to get up on par with everyone, design and everything. So it's like a little podium for you that you can just see as you sit.
Oh, I didn't want to sit at the table.
Oh no, it's right behind Iris, about 5 feet.
Oh, okay, great.
Iris just takes her seat and like rolls her eyes begrudgingly, like I can't believe I'm doing this again.
The big tiefling's like, "Oh well, welcome, Wildfire. Glad for you to join us again."
She'll just give her like yeah, okay, thanks.
That hurts. I'm kidding. Nothing hurts me.
I was gonna say, what did you expect from me?
A warm welcome and a hug? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not into that goody mushy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What? It's only good when you're out on a battlefield killing shit.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Am I ever?
Sometimes.
Okay, that was at one time and that was not my fault.
Wasn't it?
I listened to... So
what? Yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotional
At the time, it made sense in my head, okay?
Okay.
Alright, well.
Sanguine leans into May-Ighe and goes, "This is not off to a great start, is it?"
I just whisper back, "Damn, she got him good."
True that, fist bump.
So he will...
I can hear the conversation behind her and just is like, yeah, bitch.
He will stand up and he goes, well, since we have Iris and her group, I feel like this should be all introductions. God, what? I just had his name.
Ring the damn bell.
Well, not. He is for last. Well, hello, new adventurers in Iris's group. You can call me Roll. I am the leader of the Dragon Slayers here. So the tieflings and supplies have been brought over by the request of Typhon. We have come to aid as we can. So I lead the Dragon Slayers, and they're under my command here.
I lean into May-Ighe. Dragon Slayers. I kind of want to kick this guy's ass right now. It's not a good idea, right, May-Ighe? You're my conscience.
I squeeze on his thigh and goes, "Not a good time, Senguine. Just relax."
Iris is just gonna go in and be like, "Interesting, you're the leader? From what I remember, I was second in command and then made captain of this group."
Of your group, but not these tieflings. All right, and how about you keep your pumpkin in line? Tell him to stop looking at me like he wants to fight me.
Did we have to leave our weapons at the door?
No, you still have them. Everyone has their own gear and
Okay.
weapons on them.
I'm just gonna stand with my glaive and my hands just ready to go.
Oh, that's a cute pumpkin. Maybe one day.
Cause Dragon Slayers. I don't like that.
Well, I
I'm
actually
gonna roll and be like, "Honey, you know you're lower than me in this group. You know that I'm standing in for Typhon."
Contest. We'll get back to the meeting. Across from me, Violet will stand up. Hello, I am Violet. I'm the leader of these two ragtags, and we have come on the request of Typhon to aid the best we can. Senguine over there will be assisting that group, and he will not, I repeat, will not cause any trouble with any of the other groups.
No promises. You know me too well to know I can't make that promise.
He is he is well trained in with his emotions. He's a fine soldier and will do well with this group. And he sort of pats his knee.
You know that's not true, right?
Unleash him on roll.
The next one, the human will stand up and go, well, hello, everyone. My name is Tarball Nighthill. I am the mayor of Venus, and I'm the most appreciative of any help you guys can bring. I did not expect this hospitality of you guys even showing up. I'm forever in your debt, and anything we can do to help end this conflict with these cultists, I will gladly do what I can. Unfortunately, it may not be much because it did hit us hard. And we didn't expect it. They took a lot of our wealth. They destroyed a lot of buildings. They killed a lot of good men. So we do what we can to survive. And don't worry about your stay. If you find an empty house, go ahead and take it. Live there if we can. By all means, we'll provide free meals as best we can as well. If there's any trouble from the residents of Greenest, please let me know. I'll do my best to quell the situation.
At this point, Iris is gonna dump all the supplies she found in house number 3 that she had gathered onto the table in front of the mayor.
Oh my! We thought that house was destroyed.
On an adventure, a small adventure of one of my party and I, we found a bunch of stuff close to the church, which looked to be a hideout and a storage unit for the church in question. So as we were searching it, I grabbed as much as I possibly could in order to help the community.
We greatly appreciate it. That is the backup location of the church in case stuff like this happens. We thought it was destroyed because that's where they came from, so we assumed that it was already looted. Once everything got settled, we didn't even think about it, so we greatly appreciate that. Thank you. And he will bow, and then he'll sit. Roll will kind of look at Iris and waiting for her to introduce herself.
I've already made myself known. My name is Iris. As you probably guess, I know Roll. Roll and I used to be adventuring partners. However, according to second in command titles, after Typhon unfortunately passed away, I am the leader and the captain of the Dragon Slayer group, as well as my own group here. I wouldn't say I'm captain of my own group. We are 100% on equal footing in our group, but as far as titles goes for Dragon Slayer, I was Typhon's second in command, therefore I am now the captain of Dragon Slayers.
We'll give
She's
that
captain
one
of
a
Dragon Slayers.
Sanguine, shut up. You know I've already saved your life.
The dwarf will stand up like, oh, mighty good, mighty good. I'm Alt from, you just call me from. I represent the Order of the Gauntlet. We actually just stumbled upon the cult. We stumbled upon you all. We want to help. Well, normally good people. We tend to stay neutral. But the mayor has offered to make a generous donation to the dwarves of the mountain once this is all said and done. So we will gladly help as long as payment is paid. Yeah, that's who I am. Okay, I'm gonna sit down now. And he sits. And then they all look at the bell. And then you all see a little green hand pop up. Bing! Goes down. Goes back up. Bing! Goes down.
I'm just gonna roll her eyes because she knows exactly what's happening and knows what's gonna happen. And is just gonna be like, oh my god, why is he so dramatic?
Bings one more time and then grabs the bell. And then you see a top hat appear and a little goblin with a monocle and a pipe. And you hear like a little box. And then you see Zongas. Well, hello, friends. How you doing?
Oh, what the?
Iris is gonna be like, just guys, roll with it. He's the head of this thing.
Well,
I don't
hello,
get it
little
either.
man.
Just roll with it.
Hello, Cor. Hello, kitty cat. And hello, giant lizard.
Hey,
Not a
Leander.
kitty cat. My ferocious lion.
All right, Mr. Ferocious Lion. How y'all doing? Huh? No? What, did the lion catch your tongue?
Cora will just rub Leander's ear.
Wow.
Iris will be just turn over to Sanguine and be like, hey, called you a lizard.
Well, let's get this meeting on its way. Well, as you all know, the cult of the Dragon Queen has been making a lot of ruckus nowadays, and that's bad for business. Usually someone chimes in after everything I say. He looks over at May-Ighe.
I'm not a leader of this, so I'm just following protocol, whatever that is here.
Alrighty. Well, we have, at our knowledge, that the cult of the Dragon Queen has been sighted in multiple locations, and there are several spots that we need to deploy troops to, but as you can see, unfortunately, that's not the case. So, the question is, where and who are we deploying to where and when? Everyone here at this table has either agreed or unofficially agreed to stop the cult.
I slide my stuff over to Iris, which is the maps, the letters, all of the stuff that we've accumulated with the dragon cult.
Iris will acknowledge this information that, he's given her and just assume. So, Zongus, I'm assuming that you think my party, with regards to, the people behind me and not the Dragon Slayers, have unofficially accepted this position as we've had previous dealings before.
Yeah. On that note, luckily with your escapades and your timely failure on bringing Eugene to me, we have discovered different opportunities to help each other here. It's just now figuring out where to deploy who. So the information I have is there are 5 locations that need to be deployed. One is we need to deploy a group back in Tolis. That is said to be where the White Dragonborn is currently looking for the white mask there. There is the mountains of On High, which it's my knowledge is that they are trying to set up a base camp in those mountains filled with giants, Goliaths, and all those lovely frost monsters. There's also a rumor that they want to take the 3 port towns south of us, which if they do, they will have a port city to bring in troops, supplies, and catastrophic weapons. Or should I say lion-trophic weapons. Hey. There's also, we can deploy a group to follow them into the Dwarven Mountains to keep an eye on them and to follow. They seem to be heading straight there. And from my sources, they have every reason to stay there for a while since the dwarves are neutral. And as long as the cult doesn't cause trouble, they won't kick them out and they won't arrest them. And the last spot is a sea adventure. There is a sunken ship that has a very powerful and possibly destructive magical item in it that we need to receive. Since Iris is this group is the one to have the most contact with the cult, we will let them decide on which option to take.
Can we confer with our compatriots first?
Oh yes, but before you do, we do have another person who needs to introduce himself. And as Zunga says that, a half-orc cleric, a Palor, walks up to the table and says, "Hello, my fellow members of different organizations. My name is Britar, cleric of Palor. I was one of the adventurers that made it back. That our job was to rescue a monk named Leosin. He has been investigating the cult for months, and he had the best information that could help us stop him. When we found him, he was tied up and beaten. We were able to get him awake so he can talk to us, and he chose to stay as their prisoner. But he was able to tell us quite a bit of information before we were found out. He was able to tell us the Cult of the Dragon ranks and how that works. Bless you.
Thank you.
The Cult of the Dragon has an active recruiting process, accepting infants from a young age and initiate trainings for months or years before gaining any rank within an organization. And many trainees don't survive the test. An initiate who passes the test must choose a dragon color to choose to serve. Particularly, color of dragon will be the black, the blue, the green, the red, or the white. He or she is then welcomed into the ranks as a dragon claw, which, from my knowledge, your group has already faced. The higher ranking cult is ascending order as Dragon Claw, Dragon Wings, Dragon Fang, Dragon Soul, and then Worm Speaker. There are only 5 Worm Speakers, 1 per color of chromatic dragon. Most of the cult organization are overseen by local leaders called Wearers of the Purple for the color of robes that they wear, which these Wearers of Purple can be one of the 5 Wyvern Speakers. I do believe you guys already met 2 of them, which is the white half-dragon and the blue half-dragon. Unfortunately, I do not know the white's name, I only know the blue's name. Which, if you guys forgot, it is... I even had it too. Oh, there it goes. Pretty much Plain Wrath. And then the white one, if you guys need a reminder, I think this is the official name I'm going to go with. I'll post it in the chat. And then I'll bring up one other name that I can give you guys. What did I pass it to? There it goes. So that is the white one.
Quiltira the Frozen Depth.
Correct. Not much is known about him, except he is quite famous for his dual-wielding combat with hand axes and his pet shark, which is known as the Great White. Not many are lived to tell the stories, but from what Zongus has told us, you guys have fought him and lived. So that is a very good thing. So you at least know what he's capable of.
It's a whisper to Iris. Is it that blue half dragonborn that he's referring to?
Iris is just gonna nod in response.
We were also received that one other, the black dragonborn, or the black half dragon. It's known as Verdak the Noted, due to his acid ability of being a black dragon, half black dragon. We currently do not know his whereabouts, but it is rumored that once Clanrath foresees the transportation of goods through the mountain, he will pass it on to Verdak, and then Clanrath will come back with a stronger force to reclaim this land.
Fantastic. Iris is going to turn to her group, the group that she's been traveling with, not the group that she's actually captain of, despite Roll's protests. And ask them which adventure, which place they would rather protect, knowing full well that Tolis is probably going to be the one they choose. Because it's the one they're most familiar with, it's the one they're most invested with.
So we're in charge of like policing anyone, right?
This is what Zongas will speak of. This is what the council is here for. We are here to discuss which organization goes where. Now, if the whole organization chooses to keep its main forces here in Greenus, then it is to be done. If we are just to send you and your group out, unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Basically, we can make suggestions, and should the council find favor in such suggestions, it will happen.
Okay.
Otherwise, people will do whatever they want.
So I'll walk up to Iris and I'll kind of whisper to her quietly so nobody else can hear it. Be like, we should put the ones that we least trust not on the ocean one because there's a powerful dark magic there. I don't know. I'm not familiar with these groups very well. You are. So the people you trust the least, we should not put on the one with this terrible magic item. Slink back.
Does Iris still have some compliance within the Dragon Slayer group? Like, is there someone in that group that staunchly and loyally follows the actual true captain of the group?
Most likely not, only because Roll has brought these people over here. Typhon would have just let him be in control since he has his own small group. And since you've been away for quite some time, they will follow you and do what you say, but you will get so much more feedback if you try to take the command away from Roll.
So, So, the group will still look favorably on me. Should I give Roll a favorable duty or a favorable job?
You can
and potentially report to me.
I mean, you can always relinquish your role as a captain of the Dragon Slayers to Roll, and probably get more favorable on that since when it comes to this table, you will still be the one who represents your group. It's just you won't be representing the Dragon Slayers as a captain. Now, if you were to say go home and talk to those council members, you will be a representation of your group. So pretty much you will have Typhon's title.
So hard because I want to pull rank so badly.
I'm gonna turn on my eye ring, and then I'm gonna cover my mouth and whisper to Iris, "Is your eye ring on?"
So you, as he does that, everyone else gets a error. May I?
Then
Nope.
Then I whisper to Iris, covering my mouth so that no one else on the council can see, because I don't want anybody to read lips. And I whisper and say, I think that because we are so close with Polis, I think that's where we should go. The dwarves won't cause any suspicion in their homelands. So if they were able to find something, they wouldn't be ousted because of the culture that they're innately surrounded with. And there may be the most glory in the one in the sea. So if whoever goes out to the ocean is the one that will have the most challenge with a higher reward. That's just something for you to think about, but we follow your lead and we trust you.
Iris is just gonna, nod. Obviously, there's more to it, but like she's just gonna nod to show like she acknowledges whatever May-Ighe just told her. And she's gonna say, my party would be more than willing to take on Tolis, as we are familiar with the area, and can go very easily undercover. We all have jobs there, except for Senguine, but we can find a job for Senguine fairly easily.
Senguine is my employee.
Correct. May-Ighe is from the area, so we can very easily blend in and get intel from Tolis. As for the mountains, Fitz is probably the best bet for that, seeing as he is a dwarf and the mountains are ruled by the dwarven people. We trust him with that. And then as far as the sunken ship, I am going to trust Roll and my former party with that task. As I have adventured with them for many years prior, I do believe they can recover the item successfully. If a party needs to stay behind in Greenest, so be it. I think it's best if someone stays behind. However, I do think it's best my group maintains its presence in Tolis.
Zongus will rub his non-existing beard. I see. Well, I would have thought you would have wanted to pick the mountain so you can get revenge, but alas, I guess that's not your route. Pity. That would have been a wonderful adventure for you guys to go on. Well, what's the council think? Go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
Are we helping? Because we're
No, just
behind her. Damn.
her.
It's just me. God damn, I kept rolling forever. An 18.
Okay. So Zongus will stand by what he said and firmly, just begrudgingly, Roll will give off that, like he didn't like your suggestion of him going out on water. But the others, they seem like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Violet will go, you know what, I think I think my group will go out and we will go to the towns. Since there's 3 of us, we should be able to go in and out undetected. But unfortunately, we do have another thing to discuss, which is, I think, being overlooked here. If the cult has done the damage that they did to this land, I would assume they would have outposts and that they would have taken the orcs under recruitment. That being said, we have a bigger issue on our hands. Since trade has not come in or out of this town like it normally does, that means adventurers and or guards have not kept the wildlife at bay for over a month, soon to be over a month. That means these roads would be much more dangerous to travel. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a map of this area, nor do I know the tribe's location or the outpost. So it will be a very difficult operation for us, but as Senguine knows, we are quite capable of handling ourselves.
Iris is gonna look at your party and say, "Don't we have a map of the area?"
Yeah,
Uh,
I believe we do.
yes, I do. I go over to the stacks of paper that I handed to you, and then I pull out the map that you're talking about. I pull it out.
And she'll hold it up to the group and be like, "Is there any way we could potentially copy this for other members of this meeting?"
Do you put it on the table?
Yeah.
So as you put it on the table, as long as it goes zin zin zalabim, and it kind of like goes over the table as a wider map, and a 3D hologram of it appears. It goes, oh, yeah, this doesn't look good. How come y'all didn't lead with this?
You didn't ask.
No, you were my favorite, but now you're losing it. And as you guys look at the map, newly for this first time, all orc tribes have gathered next to a cultist outpost. As long as it looks like this isn't good. That's terrible. Oh, hey, that building's destroyed. Yeah, one's taken over. And he's on the table just looking down at everything.
And then I whispered to Iris, perhaps it would also be a good idea for those that are doing the traveling to know where the outposts are that we know of.
Iris is gonna be like, "Yeah, no, you're right." So Iris is gonna share the information of the outpost that is in the mountains above not Tolus, Greenest, as well as the potential outpost in the forest that she and May-Ighe were in.
Oh. Wow. So then we have the 6th option. That was unexpected. Well, so now we have someone to take care of the outposts and / ruin the Orc Alliance if that's what they're doing with the cultists. Because if they actually work together, I don't think this town nor the other port cities can withstand their forces. Well, that sucks. I say send a lizard.
The lizard?
Yeah, he looks like a good dragon. You send him to an evil dragon as a peace offering. They eat him, we sacrifice him, we make peace for a little bit. It's a win-win.
I'm not vibing with this idea. The vibe check is being ruined.
Would
No.
we rather have temporary peace or permanent peace, though?
Well, this is all we're getting from the tieflings. This is their forces. There's no one else coming. We haven't had communication with the other port cities, and the most soldiers they have are 120, maybe 200 in each port city / town. They like to call themselves cities, but they're really towns. The orcs and other wildlife far outweigh our forces. The only reason that we can take care of them is because they fight amongst each other way too often, and they're not smart, but they have the numbers. But there was the cultists, and that works really bad.
But at the same time, I think as much as the orcs are not as intelligent as you and I are, I think at least the dwarves who inhabit a similar area are very charismatic and can be very persuasive if it comes down to it. And then she'll look over at Fitz and kind of give him bless you.
Bless you. Oh my, thank you.
Bless you, Corn.
A metaphorical nudge and be like, I'm sure the dwarves, with their charismatic people and their persuasive ways, can handle some simpletons.
I do appreciate the confidence, sweetie. But like I said, we stay neutral in this conflict. Well, the main forces do. We were just a scouting party, which the cultists attacked us. So whatever we have out here is what you're getting. So it's me and 12 other dwarves.
But why stay neutral when your whole clan can be at risk of being decimated?
You never been to a dwarf city.
You're right, no, I haven't. But at the same time, I would think your necessity for preservation and wanting to continue for generations to come would outweigh your want for neutrality.
Wow. If we didn't have necessary defenses, plus we could hold up in that mountain for generations longer than you humans or even tieflings can survive. So usually why. Plus, those dwarves in the mountains are gonna probably take a good chunk of whatever gold and supplies that the dragons bring.
Exactly, so why not turn those mountains into a fortress to prevent the orcs and giants from coming forward, from moving forward in their...
Oh, they would have to find the city first. There's about like 6 different tunnels that lead anywhere. If you don't have a navigator, you'll get lost.
They're still going to use mountain passes.
Oh, that leads to outside. Most of the outside that goes inside, you need a dwarf. And we don't usually tend to go outside on mountains.
Again, why still not protect your homeland, but potentially risking it being pillaged in the process of this group trying to find a way to the port cities?
Persuasion.
I'm using my final lucky point because I just rolled a fucking nat 1.
Oh.
Wait, no. I give you a tap on your elbow, and I use my reaction or my feet so that you can save your luck point. And I will be using my new feat, which is called Bountiful Luck. Whenever I see somebody roll a natural 1 on an attack, an ability check, or a saving throw that are within 30 feet of me that I can see, if you roll a nat 1, you can roll it again. You must take the result of the second roll.
But this is a skill check.
The skill check is technically an ability check.
On ability checks, saving throws?
Ability checks, no. Ability checks are what they classify as the skills.
And you said
That and the initiative. And then you have saving throws, and then you have your attack roll.
Alright, well, lucky on you, Iris, then.
so. It technically applies.
Go for it.
My roll was a 15 with my modifier is a 26 or 24.
The dwarf look at all. You would make a good dwarf in a different life. Now, how about this? Make you a deal. It would take quite a bit of convincing for me to convince the dwarves to pick a side. But it might be favorable. How do you feel about arranged marriage? The king's son. The king's son's single. He's almost of age. Well, for dwarf standard.
Almost.
He's about. He's old enough for human standards to get married, but for dwarven standards, he's about a year off.
Iris is going to turn to her party for advice at this point. And she's going to turn to them and be like, I honestly don't want to get married. Is there a loophole or something that we can potentially exploit?
The dwarf will give you another option. Well, you'll have to convince the dwarves to fight outside a mountain. So, in order to do so, A, that silver tongue of you better become platinum, and B, you have to offer something worthy enough of a dwarven army.
I know how dwarves love their gold. I can offer you a fair amount of gold.
We mine that like it's water. We need something unique, something rare, something priceless.
Do you want a magical bomb?
I can shit a magical bomb.
It's called glitter bomb.
You can easily reinforce and hide entrances with it. Plus, it's got a little pizzazz to it.
Which is all dandy and everything, but you're trying to convince a bunch of dwarves, a bigger dwarf council, a dwarven king, to fight in a war they have no interest in fighting in.
I'm gonna whisper over to Senguine.
Has no interest in you. From potential neighbors who could pillage you. As dumb as orcs are, sometimes they just seem to be dumb enough to find themselves in the right place.
Have you ever met a lucky orc?
Surprisingly, yes.
That's a rare sight.
It's not like it never happens.
Senguine, I don't think so.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was made out of balloons.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I told them to take it down.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean, we could if we wanted to, but that's not up to me. That's up to you.
Mm.
Seems like running out of options.
He looks over at Core. There's one other option.
Let me guess, you want to marry Core.
No, we don't want to marry them. They're disgusting.
Core is a lovely person.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about her race. They don't know how to grow a beard. They're more grooming. They don't know how to properly take care of beard. Now, we heard about furbolgs. We heard about they have some interesting magic capabilities and interesting nature. You give us one of your great trees to plant. Pretty sure I can convince the council then.
Plant where?
In the heart of the mountain. You let us dwarf go into your territory, cut down one of your great trees? I think we can have a deal.
You can't cut down nothing.
Well,
I can see if I can bring you a seedling, but I absolutely do not condone cutting down one of our most sacred things.
well, folks, I might have options here. I don't know how much we can help you then, except for me and 12 others.
Like I said, I can bring you a seedling and we can plant it, but I'm not going to cut down something that's so sacred and precious to my tribe.
And you want the dwarves to sacrifice their men and women for a war that they don't need to take part in.
Why would you need one of our sacred trees to cut it down?
Because they want something of equal importance. And they're looking for a sign of faith. But that faith comes with a cost.
You got it right on the dot. Oh my. May I like you?
Iris is going to turn to Cora and say, what if it's not just a seedling? What if it's an adolescent tree? Something closer to a full grown, but not necessarily a seedling, where it still possesses some of its magical capabilities, but not the full potential yet. We can dig it up, its roots are not fully grown yet.
It would be a possibility, but that would be up to the tribe leader to make that decision.
But are you okay with me proposing it as an alternative to a fully grown tree?
Yes, but there's no guarantee that my tribe leader will allow it. He's quite stubborn.
I think between Senguine and I, we can convince him that this is necessary in order to preserve the peace of our entire world.
I will whisper to Iris. Something that would be priceless would be one of those dragon masks. One of the things that we are fighting to protect. If we do offer one of those, there is no price to that. And we would know he would be in their protection.
Iris will turn to May-Ighe and say, so you're suggesting that should we recover one of these masks, we hand it over specifically to the dwarves for their protection, and only one.
Doesn't hurt to at least put it on the table, see what they think.
As we know, potentially the location of at least two of them. You do bring up a fair point.
Sorry, guys, my phone died.
No.
You're good.
There was a huge fireball.
Everyone's dead except.
Well, back to what you were saying, Iris. I mean, Cora would be okay with it, but like she said, the tribe leader is very stubborn.
Right. She has something she can offer instead. That's going to be a last resort. So she's going to turn to the dwarves and say, we know the location of two of the dragon masks that the cult is attempting to find and use to bring back Tiamat. Should we recover one of these and we entrust it to you to protect and to keep, would you fight on our side?
No.
Would you forsake neutrality?
We don't need a mask. Whether it gives us power or not. And since you don't have the mask, I can say, sure, once you get the mask, we can have a discussion. But we, the dwarves, have no interest in a silly mask. You're trying to convince a whole people to go from neutral to in a war. And trust us, we've fought our fair of wars. But a simple magical mask, I don't think is going to cut it for us to leave our mountains to fight in a war that we have no interest in fighting. Even just having the 13 of us out is more than a generous gesture.
Which I appreciate the gesture, and as I'm sure everyone here at this council does. However, I'm not asking you to leave your mountains. I'm asking you to protect your mountains. But to align yourselves with us for the better of every single race, for every single person. Not just humans, not just tieflings, not just fearbolgs. Every single person against a group that can potentially bring the end of the world, the end of your race as you know it.
Well, we will go out with a bang.
If I might ask, what is it that your people are most interested in?
Ourselves. Dwarves don't need alliances. We do it as a courtesy. That mountain we've been in for generations. We've seen your wars. We've seen you fight over the most simple things. We've seen cultists rise up and fall. You're trying to ask us to no longer be neutral, which being neutral benefits us the most. So, the greatest thing you can offer a neutral party will be something to further give life to their mountains, to their people. which the only thing close to this land is what those fir oaks have. It's not a sapling, it's a great tree. Those things have magic beyond comparison sometimes.
Do you want the tree to grow, or do you just want the bark from the tree?
We'll have to ask the king that. I'm only speculating here. I'm not in charge of making those decisions, but I know we dwarves would love to hack at one of those trees and bring it down. Test our steel against a great tree.
Understand, though, magic comes from growth. As a caster myself, I know that my power has grown stronger as I've grown as a person. The same thing would apply to a tree with magic powers. You would want to nurture it, want to have it grow. The more power you have correlates to how much you've nurtured the sapling, or even an adolescent tree. If you cut down a tree, you lose its power.
By the way, when she heard him say what they can't want to hack at it, she got clearly upset and like kind of balled her fist.
And that's why Iris stepped in and tried to explain magic to them, because they are not casters, most likely.
Some of them are. I would come and say the defense and say some of them are.
The ones you're speaking to specifically are probably not casters.
Yeah, he chuckles and goes, if you think we haven't thought of that or invented something for that, oh, we have.
Peter, can I make some sort of history roll? I'm what I'm wanting to recall is if there was any time in history where Tiamat was a great threat to the dwarven people.
Go for it.
Not a great roll, but it's what I got. It's an 11.
It's not a 1, it's a 2.
No, it was a 6 plus 5.
Not off the top of your head, not right now. Not with going through surgery and everything, still recovering.
Is there any? Am I able to read anything? I want to know if there's any sort of subtext to his behaviors and mannerisms. I know he talks about the preservation of the dwarves and his people, and he believes that this tree might be it. But is he really hinting at something else?
Insight?
I think it's 12 in total. Yeah, it's a 12 in total.
There's a chance. There's a chance that there is a alternative motive to it. Whether he is going to release that information or not is the confusing part. From I guess your base knowledge, there's not really like any dwarf outside of the mountains have never grown up in the mountains. Like all the dwarves born in Tolus never set foot in the mountains. Some dwarves call it the ancestral home. It's one of those things like if you're born into it, you're born into it. If not, you're shit out of luck.
And so these dwarves that we're talking to are from Tolus, not from the mountains.
These dwarves are from the mountains.
Okay.
How far away is he from me?
I will say Let's see. So on your left, we would probably go with roll. On your right would probably be roll. So he's probably 2 seats away. Probably you, the mayor, him. While on the right side is roll Violet and then Zangas.
Perfect. I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Alright. So wisdom save, right?
A charisma saving throw.
What's the DC?
I believe it's a 15.
Alright.
May I rolled an 18.
So this is gonna be very fun / interesting on what happens. Give me 1 second. Paladin. All right. As you cast it, so does Zone of Truth? Oh, it has a range, doesn't it? I got to make multiple.
Yes, that's why I made my roll.
What's the radius?
It's a range of 60 feet from a point I choose, with a 15-foot radius.
All right. So what is the point you're going to choose?
It's going to center around him.
That would get everyone at the table and their bodyguards, pretty much. All right, everyone, roll that charisma save.
I did. I rolled an 18. Senguine, you're muted.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, I'm gonna use my reaction. You can re-roll that nat 1, my friend.
My man.
Hold on.
You roll another one.
No, it was a 5, so I rolled 12 overall.
You said charisma saving throw?
Yep. I'm gonna write this down.
+1. 18.
18 for Leander.
For core.
All right, so so the moment you cast a Zone of Truth, the dwarf failed, the mayor failed, Violet passed, but as her reaction, she's gonna flex a divine ability. Zongas passed, and when that happens, he moves out of the radius. And roll pass and just gives you an evil look. I didn't roll for their companions because they're just going to stay as if you were to ask them any questions, then I will roll for them.
Okay.
Just Violet does surround herself in her aura and just gives you even a more dirty look. And the dwarf is just going to look and laugh.
The dwarf can laugh, but I'm going to I'm going to ask him, tell me the truth. Be straight with me. What do you want? What is your price? What are your alternative motives?
It was for Tyrus. I don't think he's obligated to answer if he doesn't want to. which is why he's being silent. Well, this certainly is an awkward conversation now. 43, 42, 41, 40. If I might say, perhaps it would be best that you talk to your team and see what their request is, and then from there, because at this point all we're doing is just speculating. It would be if you were able to have this discussion with the king and see what their price would be. Perhaps we can table this for now and then pick it up once we have heard back from them and what they would like. Because all we're doing now is just speculating. And we can't predict. We can't predict what's going to be needed or what's going to be asked. I think that would be a fair thing.
Iris is just gonna look at the dwarf and say, "Well, answer him." Okay, Iris is no longer playing games. The whip she got, she's walking over to the fucking dwarf, and she'd be like, "If you don't answer questions, you're gonna get punished."
I whispered to Senguine, "This is so hot."
The rest of the group, all the other leaders of their organizations, grab their weapons. The bodyguards grab their weapons. Zongas just looks. May I?
Yeah.
Eh?
Perhaps we should adjourn and take a break. Things are a little bit heated, and this is not the best way for us to be working together. Perhaps we should take a recess. Come back after a little snack or a little food or something.
I
And
think that's a great idea, May I? That's a great idea.
I know I tend to get very angry when I'm hungry. So perhaps we should take a little breather and let's come back to this a little later. Yes?
Let's say about an hour.
Yes, an hour. This way everyone could go eat, have some drinks, have a drink if you feel like it, and we can all talk to our individual parties or groups if you feel like it.
That sounds good. And Zongas pulls out his little bell and rings it. All right, see y'all in an hour. And he jumps off and then he's just walking to like a smaller chair in the shade and he sits down and waits. The dwarf will remain at the table. Violet and her group will get up and walk into a shaded area. Roll will stay at the table. The mayor will get up and walk to a shaded area.
Cora's gonna go over to Iris and drag her away.
Probably a smart idea.
Perhaps
Fight some bitches. So, yeah.
Perhaps we should go grab a bite real quick. Senguine, can you do me the honor and let's roll me out of here? And let's all go grab something.
Absolutely, I'm famished.
Come on, Iris, let's go.
All right, so you guys will head back to, let's say, your house. And what do you guys do?
Holy shit.
That was a close one.
Iris, did you really think that was the best idea to threaten the guy?
Oh, wow.
Listen to certain things, then yes. If he's not going to listen to logic and reason,
These are very stubborn people that are in it for themselves. As a true neutral party, as much as we would love to say that money and defending themselves for the preservation would be the best things to give, unfortunately, they're not listening to that. So let's have some food and let's maybe just talk about what they seem to want. They're interested in your tree. What does that tree do?
It's not what it does. It's what it is. It's sacred to my people. We have we have multiple, but it's my people's, not power, but it's our connection to our God. It's life. It's not power. It's just very sacred to us, and it means different things to different people.
So it has to mean something to the preservation of life. Am I understanding that?
Yes.
Well, is there something else that we could do that would create a similar effect? So a preservation of life, something.
If there was, shaman woman of my tribe might know. Even maybe a clan leader might know. I'm still young and I'm still learning things, so I can't speak entirely for them.
Peter, I have a question.
Yeah.
Just to clarify from what I've heard,
Mm-hmm.
what he's looking for is either the king's son to be in an arranged marriage, and I think he was looking at Iris for that. Is that correct?
Correct.
So he's either looking for that, or he's either looking for the tree, because he's not interested in gold, and he feels that that because they've lived for so long in the mountains, that they have no need to step out of their zone. Am I understanding that correctly?
Correct.
Did they mention anything else that I just happened to not pick up?
They did mention about a powerful, rare, unique magic item that would be useful for them. But go ahead and make me a intelligence check.
Thank you.
And you're
So natural 17. It's just a straight intelligence check.
You can add your proficiency.
Okay. 22.
All right. So with being in Tolis and having the relationship with different races here and there, you know that it is a very common strategy of negotiation of wanting thing. You ask for something you don't want, see how the people react. Well, something like kind of outrageous, like an arranged marriage, because dwarves won't actually take that. Especially from what he said, you're kind of putting the pieces together as it's not really what he was looking for. The magic item was kind of see how you guys will react, but his end goal, putting the pieces together, was the tree. So he wanted to negotiate in a layer format. That to see the first two was a reaction, and then the third one was exactly what he wanted, which is in your line of business a common troll. You kind of like lowball it or highball it and see how they react, then you can negotiate from there.
So in my line of work and in my understanding, he was highballing us for sure. The thing he really wants is the tree. He doesn't want the arranged marriage. He doesn't want some magical item. He wants that tree. That's the thing that he's after.
And with that, I cannot say yes or no to. That would be entirely up to Raynor.
What if we just had a conversation and they were willing to put this on the table? It is not directly up to us, but we can at least go and initiate a conversation.
Do they know what the tree looks like?
I'm pretty sure if they brought up the tree, they know exactly what it is that they're looking for.
Is there a potential other species or mutation of this tree that you potentially have that looks exactly the same but has 0 magical abilities?
I wouldn't be able to say for sure.
Because if there's a mutation that looks exactly like it, we can pose the tree to be the one they want. I'm not saying it's the best alliance forged, but it's something.
I think what May-Ighe has said, at least bring up the conversation. I mean, it's a long shot, but if we don't try, what else can we do?
Because my only perspective is that I am not from your tribe. I'm not the head. I'm not an elder. I mean nothing in that respect. So how can I put something on the table that I don't even have possession or a say of? But if we bring it to your tribe and initiate the conversation for that, we at least put in the effort to say we're not in control of it, but we can talk to the people who are. They may be willing to say yes for the preservation of the Furbolgs and their tribe as well.
I guess we also have to understand that even if your tribe is unwilling to give up the tree for whatever reason, that our worst case scenario right now is they do nothing. And we have to take care of it ourselves. Or they send the only 13 there.
Agreed.
We could just take the 13. That's always another option.
And on that note, we're going to call it. Thank you, everyone. So for those people at home, please like, subscribe. For every 100 like, one of these lovely adventurers you see before me will either A, get a magical item, B, something wacky or funny will happen to them, or C, one of these characters will be put through hell again. I mean, your pick. Whoever is the 100th subscriber, you will pick what happens to these lovely players if that happens. Y'all have a good night and be well.